Yes! Here we go!
Yes, yes. Hey, KR, before we talk about the big Steve Stout and the Haiti story, let's
Yeah.
start with the usual Reddit segment. So
Hmm.
I'm going to show you the banner right now. Was around for breaking up with my jealous girlfriend. So this is the story, right? And I quote, first, let me say I didn't. So he's basically asking whether he was wrong for telling her that he was at the point of smacking her, is what the man is saying. But her ex, so they were already broken up. So yeah. First, let me say I didn't lay a hand on my now ex. I never laid a finger on any other woman in my life. She was a female of 26-year-old, and I was 28 at the time. We've been together for a little over a year. To be honest, most of the relationship was good until we reached the year mark. I first started to notice messages from my friends and family going missing.
Mm.
Invites to hang out that we discussed never reached me. I thought I was going crazy at first because my own text conversations didn't make sense to me.
Wait,
By the
what?
way, you're lucky I'm reading this because if the writing is terrible.
Ebonics all over the place. Oh,
No, this is wrong in every way,
okay,
shape, or form.
okay.
Okay. Until with two L's, I caught her deleting a conversation I was busy having with my cousin. I flipped out because why the hell would she do that? And we were having conversation about a surprise birthday party we were gonna throw my 80-year-old grandmother, who was a mother in my eyes. This was the first time I saw the other side of her. The yelling, screaming, saying why I was always planning things without her. No, I haven't planned anything without her, and she has always been invited and included in all the planning. What pissed me off more is the fact that she was trying to make me the bad guy even after I asked her input multiple times in this party for my grandmother. I apologize for making her feel the way so bad and promised to include her more. So KR, you
Yeah, but
know it's not true.
she gaslighted the dude, bro.
She gaslighted him
Yo,
into apologizing.
bro.
Okay.
I understand why.
Yeah.
I
So
understand
yeah.
that.
So um I'm 16 hours away from my family, so everything has to be planned. I've also noticed
Mm.
whenever we had plans for us to hang out with my family or friends, she always had something come up at the last minute that she desperately needed my help with, but
Mm.
never something we hung out with her friend or family.
Mm.
I did mention this, but she convinced me that it was just a coincidence.
Oh. When did he notice that? Oh no, continue.
I never hear my phone ringing, but always find missed calls on my phone and my phone conveniently on silent. Something I don't do. She denied doing it. Just a reminder, they were in a relationship for a little over a year. I actually thought I was going crazy a couple of times. The last straw was 4 days ago. My grandma had a heart attack and
Oh,
passed away in the hospital 2 days later. I didn't receive any text or call regarding this from anyone.
wait, what? Oh shoot. Oh
It
no.
was it was only until I ran into one of my old friends at the grocery store and he gave me his condolences for my grandmother.
Now
I
this can
asked
be real.
what he was talking about
This
and he
can be
told me
real.
about my grandmother. I took my phone out of my pocket and saw everyone was completely blocked. When I unblocked,
This can be true, man. This can be life.
when I unblocked the contacts, hundreds of messages came flooding in.
Oh shoot.
I left everything and ran back home to get my car again as fast as I can. When I got home and she greeted me with that smile like she did nothing, I exploded on her. I lost it. I asked why the F, which she blocked everyone that meant something to me. I yelled at her that my grandmother had now passed away and I missed the opportunity to say a last goodbye.
Oh, they
All-
buried her already.
Well, no, she passed away already.
Okay,
So
you
it's
mean
still
like
with
this?
this thing.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
All she said was sorry, but she did it for us. And my friends and family was preventing us from being together. She had to do it.
I can't say straight. Oh, come on, Will.
She grabbed me by the arms and told me to relax again. I said,
Well, let me relax my fist against. Oh my, yo,
I wanted to connect physically with her. It took me everything
she
not
wanted
to
to get.
lay a finger on her.
She almost got that Ngannou.
We broke up. Dongano, yo. Although my actions, so they broke up. Now we broke up. And she told my friends the whole truth, surprisingly. Although my actions in those moments wasn't the best, I'm still ashamed I acted that way. Was I wrong for yelling at her and screaming at her and telling her later on that I was at the point of
Giving her the Ngannou treatment.
yeah.
I'm gonna repeat it. This is gonna be my punchline right now, man. Literally. Yeah.
What do you take out of this? What do you conclude out of that story?
I'll start with doing this. Great that he realized after a year he was dealing with a crazy ass woman. It took him a year. Some people are blind. It will take him to marry them and for her to sink his life into the drain hole to him for realize. So he realized it quite early for his standard.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta keep the these things to yourself, right? Because
Nothing.
this might be used against you in a while. I don't know when, but it could. Just break up. I think the applause what I gave him was for him to keep his composure. Because I understand they always ask why would someone slap anyone, and these are the situations some people might flip out. I'll be honest. People sometimes people drive you crazy, but he's not wrong for breaking up. He's a good guy for not giving her any Ngannou treatment, um, or giving her a Joshua Anthony. I don't know where you want to put it, but yeah, it's a good thing, man. And sometimes you gotta. I think the monkey was blinding him. The monkey was way too warm and way too juicy, as Meek Mill would say.
Well, and if 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 you think this way now, just wait and see what Reddit story I have for you this
On
Thursday.
Thursday?
But to give my let me just give my share my 2 cents. I think guys oftentimes get little um, guys don't get enough credit for the way that they deal with women, especially women like these. So you always
crazy. Let's put the
yeah,
put
so you always hear the crazy, you always hear like the shocking stories, right? But the thing is, you see in this guy that he was right, but he still felt guilty. A lot of guys feel guilty when they see their woman being emotional.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even though rationally they know that they're right, they still feel guilty that the woman is sad because this man described a lunatic and
A lunatic.
someone someone who was so possessive, so controlling, so jealous of friends and family, KR.
Dude, lunatic is understatement, bro.
Friends and family. So it was everything was perfectly okay when it was her things. So her family, her friends, but it was the guy's family and friends. She not only she wasn't only opposed to cooperating, she boycotted it.
No, it's his
And
mistake.
the fact that the guy still is asking himself whether or not he was wrong in that moment just goes to show you how guys, a lot of guys actually do
Some.
well, a lot, I would say a lot. A
Okay.
lot of guys feel guilty about those things, especially what they call the good guys. And I say good in quotation marks
Yeah.
because I don't believe in good guys, right? It's like the either you're anyway.
In Jamaica, we're gonna talk about Haiti later, but in Jamaica, they will call them pussy boys.
Yo,
Yeah.
oh, oh,
Anyway, hey, but
yo.
I do agree with you on that. Uh, I do agree with you on that. This is a crazy story, but I'll be honest. I heard the story. What I didn't hear, but all of this is his fault. Again, this is his fault
Mhm.
because what I don't hear in the story, he didn't call it out anytime. He let it.
Well,
He let it
wait
go
up.
through.
Yeah.
You gotta call stuff. This is. You're right. He's a good guy. He's a. Let's not use the word because otherwise they'll tag us and say
Oh,
we're
yeah.
this type of
But
guys.
that's what I'm saying. The good guy is like it's not.
You gotta call it out. Come on, man.
Yeah.
She's the
What we
least
say.
best. But you're not saying anything about it, or at least that's what he wrote.
Yeah. So when people say use the word good guys, oftentimes what they mean is a guy who tries everything to keep peace and to keep the woman happy, even if inside he doesn't agree with certain things. So, and what he then starts doing is instead of leaving, he stays, deals with it, and then he explodes. And if he exploded this way after 1 year, KR, can you imagine
Right.
some people stay in a relationship for 15
Why some
and
people
then end up waking up seeing like pitch black, and when they wake back up everyone is not living anymore. So you have that level, and those are a lot of times the quote unquote good guys that accept these things until they can't anymore. But hey, good luck to him. They're broken up. I just hope that he I mean everyone agreed with the statement that she was cuckoo. I just hope he believes it too.
I don't think he does.
I
Otherwise, he
believe.
wouldn't ask that question.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, stop sipping on that mainstream media juice. That's all I'll say.
All right. Let's start. Hey guys, welcome all to another edition of the Double Thought Show. We really appreciate you being here. Let us know your thoughts about the Reddit topics. Do you agree with our take? Do you perhaps see things differently? Please let us know. In today's show, we're going to talk about Steve Stoute interview at Club Shay, and Cam and Maze's reaction to Steve Stoute's comments specifically about Dame Dash. But before we do that, there's a crazier story, something very crazy going on in Haiti. So we're gonna touch on that as well. It's crazy. It's a bit sad to see. It's alarming, but it's still something to be discussed. And after that, if we have some time, we will talk as usual. We'll share some very funny stories we read in the news. With that being said, before we
Also some
proceed,
sad stories, but continue.
okay, well, sad stories, so noteworthy stories then.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, KR, you usually don't tell me what they are, so I do agree. Now that would be effed up if I would say fun stories and then at the end, yeah, like so.
Well, you know at least one story because I announced it to you. I'm gonna rant, but okay.
Okay, cool. But before we proceed, if you haven't done so already, subscribe. It would really mean a lot to us if you subscribe. We see that approximately how many percent? 5%, 10%?
80% don't they didn't subscribe
Is
yet.
not subscribed. Yeah, so I was talking about those that are subscribed. So about 80% of you aren't subscribed. So please, if you enjoy if you enjoy the show, please support us. It would mean a lot to us. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out when we drop new videos. Share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies. Comment, let us know your thoughts and opinions, and of course, like the video so YouTube shares it with more people. And of course, if you want to check out the clips, go check out the other channel, Double Thought Clips. There you can see specific clips. So if there are certain segments you like, you can go on that channel and check them out. With that being said, KR, I think we can proceed with the first topic of the day.
Let's do this.
Sac passé, na boule. You know what it is?
Sac passe, I know.
What is that?
It's like what's up.
Okay.
In I don't know. I don't know if it's in French or Creole, but I do know in Haiti they say sac passe.
Na boule means
No,
you don't know
no,
what it is.
no.
It literally means we're burning.
Oh.
But it actually means we're hanging out. So
Oh,
but if you translate it,
literally it means it's burning.
we're burning, yeah.
Okay.
Coupe-tête, boule kai. I'm teaching you some history right here. That was the slogan of Haiti in 1803 when they were trying to separate themselves from the French. Coupe-tête, maybe you already know. You know a little French, I think, right? What does that mean?
Yeah. That's a revolt. I forgot what the name is, but a revolt against the government.
Separate the body from the head.
Yeah, well,
Coupe-tête. A tête. Coupe.
no, I thought coup. I thought it was coup d'état, or is it something else?
Coup d'état is a coup
Revolt.
d'état when you revolt and you try to.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
but-
thought that was what you were asking me. You're asking me something different.
I'm talking.
Yo,
I'm talking that Haitian revolutionary stuff right now. And
Okay.
Bulakai means burn the house down.
okay.
So this is why did I start with this story right there? Because RJ, this is nothing new for Haiti. This is who they are. Meaning it's a revolutionary island country. I don't know, it's somewhere between. It's pretty big. So there have been quite some turmoil in Haiti, man. When the current president, we talked about Haiti a couple of weeks ago, right? Do you remember the former first lady was arrested, indicted for setting up her own husband?
Yeah.
There are some talks about alphabet people being involved, and I'm not talking about the broken wrist ones. I'm talking about the ones with ties to
The F's and the B's,
and the
the
C's.
C's and
Yeah,
the yes.
those.
Stop it, bro. Stop it. Stop it, RJ. That's enough.
Let's start right there. Nah, but Haiti has been in a lot of turmoil the last few years. I mean, actually last decades, couple of decades right now, since the crazy earthquake they had. It's been going downward. It's a downward spiral since then.
Mhm.
Um, and basically, last weekend there was not this past weekend, but the weekend before that, when the sitting president was visiting an African country. I think it was Nigeria or one of those countries. The local head of the state, and I'm talking about the gang state, decided to free almost 4,000 inmates. His name is Barbecue, or at least that's his nickname. His nickname Barbecue. His real name is Jimmy Cherizier, former police officer and now one of the most important gang leaders of the country. He established basically G9 and Family, which is a criminal federation of 9 powerful gangs. So he's at the top of the food chain.
But we're talking about organized here, right?
Organized crime. Yes, yes. Otherwise, you cannot free up 4,000 inmates.
That is true.
You gotta be organized, and he's a former cop, so he knows how everything works. He has a long history, man. I'm not gonna talk about his history, but the guy he's certified. He's certified. He's been in a couple of scuffles where more than 50 people left the building. He's been provided certain things from the government as well on the undercover. So there's a lot of stories to be told about this guy. I'm not gonna go into details because otherwise we'll sit here and can do a whole show about this guy. He's a very interesting character. As in, if you learn about him, you understand the mindset is behind him. Usually, RJ, I don't know if you know, but if you're a crime boss, you don't want to have turmoil because that interferes with your
The
business. Your
business.
business is either extortion, your business either selling of goods that are illegal, robbing, robbing banks, and all that stuff. But if
Mhm.
it's unstable, which is now, you gotta ask yourself, what is the reason he's doing this?
Mhm.
Well, maybe he turned a page in his book. Tell me something. Do you know something about this whole thing, man? That's happening. Did you read about it?
Well, I heard that. So I'm aware of what's going on. I saw that there was the. I read the story about the 4,000 people getting. Uh, can I say liberated from the prisons? I wasn't aware how big of a problem this whole thing was until I started learning more about him. Uh, but Haiti is a country that has been struggling for a long time. Haiti was, many people forget that in the past, Haiti was like a very thriving country. But it almost seems, KR, and I don't want to sound too tinfoily, but when
Hmm.
you read the history or the not the history necessarily, but if when you read the well, yes, you follow the history of these countries like Haiti, it almost seems like there is a it's in people's interest to keep the situation like that, because you might ask yourself, I mean, the question I always ask myself is, how come every time they try to stand up, someone comes in and puts them back down? And the story of the story you mentioned at the beginning of this segment about the ex of, well, the wife uh
Mhm.
of the, was he the prime minister at the time, of her being involved in taking out her own husband.
We
She
all
was,
know who were involved, but she's taking a fall partially.
so to me it's like, it just goes to show you that the problem is way deeper and more complex than people make it sound to be. A lot of
Mhm.
times when we talk about as because so in college or in law school, I have to say, I studied international law.
Mm.
And in international law, you also get, of course, the in general, right, the history
That's
of.
also part of the European, or is it the world?
Now that was the, so it was actually international and European law.
Mm.
So we got indeed European focused um, courses or subjects, but we also got like international subjects. And one thing, we didn't get anything specifically about Haiti, but what you do see in countries like these is that oftentimes the interests are, so the problem is more complex, and almost always there are interests from outside of the country that want to interest to keep this situation like that,
Unstable.
unstable, because by keeping it unstable they can get away with a lot of things that they cannot necessarily get away with in a stable country.
We all know what happened after that earthquake. If you don't know, Google certain foundations that came in and helped the country. I'm not gonna name them because then I'm gonna sound very tinfoily. Tinfoil hat. Where is it? I don't have it here. But we all know, if you read a lot about Haiti, you'll see that indeed. By the way, the ICC, the International
Criminal court.
Criminal Court,
Hmm.
is trying to find Coney. I don't know if you heard that, but okay. Let's hope. I'm gonna offer my services.
Is
I'm
that
gonna
still,
offer.
is that still ongoing?
It's still they are trying to find them now. They're gonna they started the process. Everyone knows Coney probably is by now a skeleton, but okay. They need to burn the money. Someone has to get paid. Anyway, people are condemning barbecue. So the question I have is barbecue a real life joker or a freedom fighter? What do I mean by joker? Do you remember the movie How Joker Came In? And what happened after Joker entered the scene and got him in the trilogy?
So which one are you talking about right now?
I'm talking
Which?
about the one with Heath Ledger as the
Mhm.
Joker.
Okay.
Do you remember what he did?
No, I don't.
I think it's the second movie. He freed all the inmates and it became pandemonium.
That's true. Yeah.
So is he the real life Joker
Mm.
or is he just a freedom fighter? Because he said basically he wants all Haitians that are being treated wrong to come back and help to build the country. He also said that the current sitting president shouldn't come back. We all know what will happen because he probably lived by his name. Do you know why they
His
call him
name?
barbecue? His nickname.
Uh,
You know what they call him, barbecue?
I'm guessing because he burns things.
He bursts things, yes. After they are not here anymore.
Okay, so first the okay.
Or maybe he does it when they're still here.
Wow.
I don't know which one of the two, but he burns things. Let's put it that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
So he's like
But
Sakase, he's like Nabule.
yeah, he's taking it literally.
Yeah.
But okay, so he's saying that so in his eyes he's a freedom fighter.
He's a freedom fighter in his eyes. He's trying to free the people and trying to bring new hope to the country. But
Okay.
let's not forget, he was a former gang leader. So my question, like I said, I asked it, did he turn the page?
So you're saying okay. So you're saying he was first a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
After that, or maybe at the same time, he was also a gang member.
At the same time.
Okay, at the same time. And now
He
he
went to-
probably he probably got thrown in jail at some point. Never.
I haven't read that he got
Okay,
thrown
okay.
into
But in
anything.
any case, that's not really relevant then. What's relevant is that now he's saying that he's a freedom fighter.
From a police to a gangster to a politician. Yes.
Yeah. Hey man. Like I said, these things are complex.
It's complex. I know.
And
I
of
know.
course,
Let
in
us
the
know in
eyes
the
of
comments what you guys think.
yeah, because some people will say, some people, if you look at how some people think of police officers, they think that they are just gang members of the state,
Yep.
and it's just the way everything depends on where you're at. If you're at the government side or at the, let's call them, the rebel side. But if I'm not mistaken, KR, I did read that barbecue went, or at least his people went on a rampage and indiscriminately made a lot of people say goodbye to their bodily flesh here in the year.
Who are we talking about? Are we talking about the people who are there to colonialize, or are these just random Haitians?
So that's the way I read the article. It seemed as though it was random. They were talking
Mm,
about random
okay.
Haitians, but
All right.
that's what the article said.
That's,
Yeah.
that's the complex, and I do totally agree with you on that. The thing with these kind of international issues is it's always hard to have a pulse. If you don't have no one who's local there, it's hard. Usually I have someone on on the streets giving me information, whether it's a local or someone who has connection to locals. It's hard for me right now to assess the whole situation. I don't know enough Haitians to assess this whole situation, because it could be that this guy is trying to free the country, and that
I know a couple, so I'll just go and ask them. But usually so the Haitians that I know
mm,
are oftentimes second generation Haitians or third generation Haitians, and their parents or grandparents either fled the country
mhm,
or left the country for a better living.
yeah.
Because as I said, Haiti was a very, very, very great country in the
Well,
past,
it
but
still
but this
is.
is it
That's the
still
crazy
is.
thing.
It's still, I mean, it has everything
The
there. But I'm talking
distribution
about
is a bit weird.
the distribution is weird and the power structure is weird. But I'm talking about, it's been a while now since they have it. To me, it seems as though every time the country is trying to make a turn for the better, something happens. So it's like,
Hey,
it's a shame, but we just need to keep an eye on it.
keep an
Uh,
eye on, man. The thing with Haiti, and this is a complex thing, right? For those who don't know, do your research. You had Papa Doc in the 50s, the 60s, running the country. Then you had his son, Baby Doc,
Baby Doc.
also running the country. That went south. From the stories, information, they have been informants. They have been working with alphabets. So we also know that the previous president wasn't that cooperative with certain people. He didn't want the uh, the uncle, the uncle savior, Uncle Fit. He had a savior for everyone. He didn't want to use that, so it's already refusing. You don't know. You never know where these things. You never know what's behind the scenes. What is happening? It
Yeah.
only will show you. You will always see it after a few years. So
Yeah.
let's see what happens. Let's see
His,
what
his,
happens.
he didn't feel the savior, so the Uncle Vit savior.
No.
I guess you can say his heart just wasn't in the right place. Hey man, that's
Let me close it out. The last question. Talking about people with great hearts. Wyclef Jean, is he the savior? Should he go back now and help the country? Or should the alphabet boys send him as the savior?
I think he should stay away.
That's a great question because last time around, when he was running for president, he got popped.
Wait. Who was running for president?
Wyclef Jean.
Wyclef Jean ran for I didn't know this. And he got popped? And you're asking him to go back? Come on, man. Oh my.
Yo, like I said, sometimes people say, I don't know anything. I'm a reading dude. I remember everything.
Yeah. Well, it just reminds me of the next topic we're going to talk about because it started when we so before we talk about that, guys, let us know your thoughts and opinions about this subject, whether or not you agree or disagree with our takes. Of course, maybe you can add to the information. If you have some information about Haiti, please let us know as well. Of course, you can share it with the community. Yeah, I was saying, KR, the Stoute interview at Club Shay started. So I'm talking about the full episode. It started with them being in the hood.
Yeah. That was a great
And the brother of
Nas
Nas was there,
telling a story.
and he was telling a story about how basically we almost would have never heard the name Steve Stout. Let me put it like that.
Well,
Due
we
to,
would have heard of him on a shirt.
on a shirt, yeah. But unless the president trying to pronounce his name.
Wait.
But yeah. Hey, never mind. So the
Stephen Stout.
so what happened? So he was telling the story about how they were in the hood and I think it was the project, right? And then in Queens, and then Steve Stout pulled up, but he just walked up to them, and
Way
they didn't
too
know,
aggressive and way too
yeah,
directly.
and way too confident.
Way
They
too
were like,
confident.
something's
Something's
so,
up.
so they were ready to get, their they were preparing their blicky, and one guy said, "Wait, that's the guy that makes beats for Biggie and Jay-Z."
Biggie. They definitely said Biggie, but I don't
And
remember.
then he went up, talked to him. He said, "Yeah, it's okay, cool." And they were telling the story.
And the brother was
And the brother was here, but then the brother said, and this is what I was alluding to when I said the Wyclef Jean, your Wyclef Jean remark reminded me of this part of the show of the podcast
Mm.
episode. Is that the guy said, "Yeah, but I don't live here anymore. Hey, I'm out, man.
About.
I'm out, man. I don't live here anymore. I mean, I grew up here. I really appreciate everything, but I'm not here anymore, man. I'm out. So
Yeah.
why?" And when they called
Yeah.
Nas,
Yeah.
when they FaceTime Nas, one of the first thing Nas said was, "Wow, you guys are really out there. Y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy." So
Even Nas is not to go back.
just to say that, when you get out, there's always that survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone, well, helping the community is one thing, right? But physically being there, I think you should always think twice before you do that. Because some people out here care, they don't have anything to lose and they don't care about anything you did. Remember the boxer who invested in a housing project? Was it Devante? And then they burned half of
I thought it was Nuganu when he was laying down, but it wasn't. No, it is. What's the guy? Yeah, it's Devante.
Yeah, so you just build something and then someone has a beef with you somewhere and that person doesn't like you. I mean, you should really think about things like that twice. So, but yeah, man, it was a very good episode. Did you watch it?
That's his name, Javante.
Yeah, Javante. Yeah.
No,
Javante.
I watched it, man. It was a fun episode. I think one thing I want to say about going back, and they mentioned it during the show as well, right? In the beginning, Nipsey went back. Nipsey went back and look at where he's at. So it's a envy thing. It's an envy thing. And when you go back, you have to always be wary how you give back, and whether you stay in the hood or you just give back through foundations,
financing projects, things like that. Yeah. I think that's a good thing. I think you should do that, but to physically be there and live there, I think you should think.
It's tough, but it was a fun interview. So I've known Steve Stoute for a very long time.
Personally, you went to school with him.
I went to school with him. He even gave me a book.
You have a book?
Gave me a book.
All right.
Homie,
look at you flexing. Can I see the book?
Flexing. You want to see it again? Let me show it to you. I
just want to make sure that I just want to make sure that it's not something you. Yeah, can you open it? Because that's a blank page. I just want to make sure whether it's a real deal. Okay.
Oh shit!
Come on, man. Don't be saying things like that. Come on, man.
Oh man. Anyway, enough of the book. I can't read. But Steve has been an important guy in hip hop. He brought the commercialization of the
music industry, of the genre,
of the genre. And what he also got is another flag. He got hit with a bottle by Diddy, apparently. That's what the story is. Dame smacked him years ago, and he talked about Dame yet again. He talked about Dame. He talked greasy about Dame. He said Dame is where he's at. Well, he said basically Jay-Z left him because he saw Dame's ceiling. Dame was a guy that couldn't hold his composure. He didn't grow. He stayed the same guy, the same angry guy. And Dame didn't like it. Dame didn't like what he said. I'm going to show you something. And this is the part where he said that. Fair use.
Around him wanted to meet with other people. Right. People were becoming less beholden to him, but he was unaware of it. Then he would while he was building businesses, which partly he would go off all around the world with cameras and girls and all kinds of crazy shit, and then come back flipping out on everybody as if, they were wrong. Yeah. Or like, why'd you guys do all this shit without me? Like, bro, you didn't build a business that was so operationally tight that you could just go away and come back and shit be the same and all that shit. It wasn't even like that. Jay grew up, you know, Jay wanted more. I think Jay seen Dame's ceiling. And I think that's really what it was. I mean, Jay seen Dame's ceiling.
You can't fault a man for wanting to get better.
No, he wanted more. And everybody wanted more. Dame just had a very particular way of approaching it. He's far from stupid.
Right.
Very, very smart.
Right.
Very talented. Ego through the roof. So there was no working with him.
Right.
No one wanted to work with him. There was no work. As much talent as he has, nobody wanted to work with him. Jimmy Iovine had this.
Oh yeah, by the way, did you see how he responded? This is the reason why I had to smack the ish out of Steve Stoute a couple of years ago, because he's always speaking on other men's business. Good thing I've evolved.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about Cam and Mace's reaction, or just react now?
Let's react first to this part, and then we're gonna talk about Cam.
Yeah. So first of all, indeed, I knew of Steve Stoute. I don't have his book. I don't have his book.
Me. Now you pull him in
with a signed version. Yo, Steve, if you can send us a book with your signature, we really appreciate it. You see, we're here. We're here. KaiR is here, sharing the
legendary book.
The book without any proceeds going to us. So you would call that bad business. But in any case, no, but Steve Stoute came across as a very intelligent man, very well-known man. He was talking about making about, I think, 2.7 million at 27.
And then
being an employee.
Yep.
And then choosing to change direction. So some people will hold tight to that, KaiR. They will hold tight and say, "Oh no, this is my max. I can't get more." And he was like, "No, I can do more." The level of confidence that requires, and you know,
and having a vision
and savviness, it speaks a lot. What it said about Dame Dash, to me, I find Dame Dash is a very polarizing person. It's basically you either like him or you don't. And there are certain things I like about Dame Dash. His way of his aggressiveness in approaching business. His way, I believe that what he achieved for Rockefeller at the beginning stages, there are moments where you need that approach. Like, don't BS. We need to get this. You're trying to pull one over us, so don't do that. So you need to have that. So, and when I see him, I think he's his mind is very. There's a very interesting part there. On the other hand, I also think, and two things can be right at the same time, that a company that's evolving will require other things on different levels. And if you are, there comes a point, just like when you're a company, let's say when you, let me put it like this, just to make an analogy. When you start a company, you need to be a salesman. You need to be able to sell your product. But the more you grow, the more other things become relevant. How good is the quality? Can you be consistent? How good is the customer service? Are your processes standardized? So are your finances in order? Are you complying with tax? So a lot of other things become important. And that requires a different mindset. That's why a lot of people with the founder's mindset, so they're the founder, they can transition to the corporate mindset. And I see that as a limitation in Dame. I don't think it's because he can't do it. I think he doesn't want to do it. He wants to keep doing things his way, and it's his prerogative to do so. But I, for that reason, I don't. I can. I do think that there is some truth to what Steve Stout was saying, and I can imagine an artist who wants to grow will see that characteristic
Turn off.
as a turn off, as a limitation. So
Not
I
only
can't
artists,
imagine it.
actually. Not only artists. So I've seen when I was very young, when I was a little boy, pause. Um, the uh, I've watched a couple of Rockefeller documentaries, and the way he was acting, I was like, dude, why would you do this? Because the thing is with in business, right? If you burn a bridge, you burn enough bridges, you're on an island.
Where they burn.
Yes, yes. You start burning yourself at a certain point.
Nabule.
Yes, literally. And I think Jay saw that as well. Jay saw, and I think, so first, let me go back. I think Steve is right on the fact that Steve said he's a smart guy, but it's just his attitude around it. That's the thing that turns people off. The way he was in his early years, it was crazy. I can show you a couple of videos. You'll think this dude, you cannot work with him. You cannot work with him. And maybe the reason why he was like that, people started going around him, which made him even crazier.
Yeah.
Um,
But there was a need. So I do see the necessity.
there is a need. So this
There
is
is a need, especially if you think about the music industry back then, when it really started, and when the music industry, well, we know the music industry as being mainstream, right? As being owned by large corporations. What I found very interesting about that episode, the Steve Stout episode on Club Shay, was when Stout showed the wall with all the albums of a year, and all of them were independent artists.
Mhm. Before hip hop became mainstream.
Mainstream. So and we're talking about big, well-known artists, well-known, so classic albums, all independent. I think Dame Dash saw what the mainstream companies, or the companies that basically manage the mainstream artists, wanted to do with them, and he didn't accept it. I believe that's how it started.
No,
And then
they weren't getting deals. That's where it started.
they weren't getting deals.
Nothing, yeah. So they thought, let's start Rockefeller and then start doing it ourselves. And then they started popping. And then from that one became Jay-Z. So they weren't getting deals. Do it yourself. When no one is helping you, do it yourself. So that's that's the part I like about him.
Yeah. So that's what I meant. So that's what I basically was saying, that he was seeing that the deal. So he was seeing that what they wanted was basically a ripoff. And the way he went about it was storming into meeting rooms.
Yeah.
Storming into meeting rooms, everyone button up, so at least formal, everyone with their normal wear. He's coming in with his baggy shirt, the style of that baggy shirt, the baggy shorts. What's the hat called? The one that it's like it goes down like that, like a fisher, like a fisherman.
You mean the bucket hat?
Yeah, the bucket hat,
the kangaroo hat.
Yeah, so and he was just coming in, and that can be very disruptive. It can be effective if someone's trying to BS you and you call it out. They'll be like, "Oh, I respect this person." But if you come in, grab people, and do those type of things, then yeah, it becomes you really start burning bridges. Then
Yeah, and I think if you think about it, and we can just talk about the well, because Cam also responded to this. I'm not gonna show the video. It's gonna take a couple of minutes. Cam, what I think is funny is Cam responded to this. They gave him his props. They gave him his flowers. And you can find the video. It's on the It Is What It Is podcast. Great podcast, by the way. Shout out to Cam. Shout out to Mace.
shout out to the guys. Yeah,
Building a brand new, building their own machine right now.
yeah. I like
What?
the rebranding. The rebranding they did. When I saw it at first, it seemed weird to see Cam in a suit.
I said,
So
what did I say to you when it happened? I said this is gonna stick.
yeah, but
It's
it really did. It really because you already have like like
yeah.
a stigma, like oh, this is Mace, the breed strat shake guy that became a pastor, and but then him sitting there, I could that wasn't that weird to me, but to see Cam there and listen, the suits are fly, so it's
Yeah,
not like
they are
is-
fine. They are
is-
fine.
but like let me do what they would say. The suits are fly. Pause. But it still got some getting used to.
No, but
But
all
Cam
jokes
was saying the
aside,
same thing actually. So
yeah. So he gave him his
Mace,
props, but then at the end, if you watch the full part, he said, and I do, and like you said, he agreed with Steve Stout by saying Dame is a acquired taste. Pause.
yeah, that's what he said exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what he said. Yeah.
It's exactly what he said.
Right.
He is a smart guy, but he might turn some people off the way he communicates.
Yeah.
So he's saying, and the funny thing is, they shared the video and said, while reacting to Steve Stout's criticism, although it's just a repost, it's just a repost, but he shared it as if to tell people, hey, other people stand behind me. But if you watch the full thing, he's just saying almost the same thing.
I think he's saying the same thing. I think Mace's point was that he thought that it was unfair to just take one less, so I would say one bad quality, but let's say less good of a quality because it has its time and place to be a
Mhm.
person like that, and push that narrative, right? Because that was his point. Because he said that Steve's Dame Dash gave a lot of people jobs, uh, did a lot of good things. A lot of people who are still working in the music industry have very good positions started with them. So
Mhm.
I do that was what May said. And
Yeah.
Cam also gave him his props. But everything comes down to the same thing. Whether you call it an acquired taste or difficult to work with, everything seems to come down to Doom Dash's attitude
Mhm.
and not his knowledge, because everyone agrees that he's a very smart and intelligent person.
Yep.
It goes just the way of him going about things.
There's also always in business, right? And this is maybe it's also a lesson for everyone. There is a level of you have to be at a certain level, have a pinch of likability. You cannot be always the hard hitting guy because people will not play ball with you, and this is why at a certain point I'm not gonna say he is where he is because of this, because he's still trying to build something, but I don't want to kick the guy in his back. But this is the reason why people don't want to work with him. He's now on his own. He's trying to build something on his own. No one wants to work with you, collaborate, because you build a certain reputation for yourself, and then people say like, you know what? Nah, man, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
why
But
get
Steve,
yourself into?
yeah, but Steve Stout, very great. That was a very great interview.
Yeah.
I would say Steve Stout, um, when you talk about Dame Dash, not Steve Stoute. So this is in general. So in general, because May said, I think it was Mace or no, I think it was Cam who said that they both respect each other. So they might have difference of opinion, but they still
Mhm.
respect each other.
Who?
So Dame and Steve, they
Steve.
do, yeah. So they do respect each
I'll
other's.
respect with a bottle against that, maybe, but
But in any case, just remember that Dame Dash has changed, and that's what he was saying. He said in his message, "It's a good thing I've changed." Because this man is the same guy who stepped to lead Daniels in the church because he owed him 2 million and wasn't paying it back. So if this guy can step to lead Daniels, and he already said, I don't care who you are, I'm gonna treat you the same as everyone. So if Dame Dash can step to the producer of Precious and the butler, in a church,
they don't
to ask
discriminate.
for 2 million, that tells you he doesn't care. Uh, he doesn't give a f about anything.
Yes, you should. That I do agree with you. If you owe me, you might find yourself swimming with the fishes, but you can because otherwise you owe me forever. So we're gonna chop. No, 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 no. We're gonna chop and screw.
You always need to take things. You always feel the need to take things a bit too far. I don't get it, man. You're just it's.
Talking
Hey,
about taking things too far. Hey, shout out to Cam Mace, um,
Steve Stout,
Steve Stout,
Shannon Sharp,
Shannon
Dave
Sharp,
Dash.
and of course Dame Dash. Legendary. All of them are legends. Whether you want to call it or not, they're part of the history of hip hop.
Mhm.
And all the best to all of them. Talking about things going south, man. India tour gone wrong for travel influences from Spain. Did you hear about that story? By the way, this is a speed topic, so let's go right through them real quick.
Yeah, what's it about?
So there were this couple who were travel bloggers who were basically traveling with motorbikes through different countries, and they were traveling through India. And during they will sleep outside, and one thing came to another. The man was beat up, and the wife was S8,
Okay.
and I'm talking about
Yeah,
S8 with
it's
grapefruit.
okay.
It was crazy. When I saw the video the first time, I thought it was a scam. Not a scam. Let's put it this way. I thought it was a hoax. Then I started reading the story and I was like, dude, what the heck is happening here? And then they started arresting the people who did it. Did you hear about that?
I heard that I heard the essay part.
Mm,
I didn't know anything else. So that they slept outside and things like that. No, I didn't
yeah,
know.
it's crazy, man. And then and
But was
they
it
are
a
now.
safe? Were they in a safe environment? How?
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. And this is I'm gonna try to keep it short because it's of course the speed topics. In India, there has been years, all year over year, all these stories about women, Indian women, getting essayed. So I
Mhm.
think if you have some level of awareness, you should know that it's not safe to maybe sleep out,
Mhm.
and definitely in the way I don't want to sound like an asshole, but it's the husband's fault.
Is the
And
husband's fault?
as a man, you should have a level of awareness about these things. You are the leader of the pack. He's older than her, so you should have a level of knowledge of the situation. There have been years. I don't know if you heard about these stories of these women getting essayed in India. Oh, Indian women. Do you think as a foreigner they won't do it? These guys are crazy. These guys are literally crazy. So I think this is a crazy situation that turned bad. I hope these guys get life. And the thing is this, right? When these situations happen, it's the
Did you
people.
say get life or lose life?
I don't know what the story is in India, whether they lose life in this situation or they get life. At minimum, they get life.
There has to be something with life in it.
Yes, yes, yes. Either getting it or taken. Anyway, no, but it's always the victims that end up. So when in a bad situation, the woman will forever be scarred, and the man will have to live with the fact that he was unable to, because there were 7 guys.
Mhm.
He was unable to protect his wife. I don't know what that does to your psyche as a man, but I don't think it's any good.
Hey, it's not. No, it's not.
Welcome to the show.
No. I was. I just got a message in a different. Anyway, so
Yeah.
no, I think this is always a shame, and I think what's important that we need. I think it's important to remember that you can roll the dice once and go to a dangerous place. You can roll it twice and go to another dangerous place. You can roll it a couple of times, but there will come a time that it will land on a certain combination. You can roll it 100 times without it landing on snake eyes, or 200 or 400. There will come a time. So what I mean to say is you can take these risks time and time again, years and years again, because maybe they've done this a couple of times already.
Mm-hmm.
But if the crocodile hunter can get taken away from us by stingrays, anything can happen. I
Yeah.
just I hope all the best for the influencers, because nothing justifies this.
Yep.
So it doesn't justify that the acts were incorrect, but you also need to be wise about things like this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's you usually they say, "Hey, you're blaming," yeah, but it's not really that. It's more complicated than
It's more
that.
complicated. So this is the thing. I'm always of the opinion awareness. If you can prevent it by awareness, it's, and this might sound like victim blaming, but
Mhm.
if you are aware, you can avoid situations. By acting naive, you call the situations towards yourself, and then you cannot get out of it in that situation when it's happening. So it's better to avoid. Just like I told the story about the guy doing weird things at the platform when I was waiting for the subway. You have to be aware of the all the variables that are there, and then you
Mhm.
make a correct
Conscious,
decision,
yeah, conscious.
conscious decision about how to minimize the risk in that situation. And sleeping outside in a tent isn't one of those.
Yeah,
And don't eat any food in India. But that's another topic.
that's another topic. Next,
Next one, Colombia serious seducer was arrested. So there's, I mean, we talk about these passport bros,
seductress.
seductress. Yes. Oh yeah, yeah. I read it wrong. Well, I read it how a lot of people would read it. Anyway, they arrested a woman that was basically seducing guys via Bumble and robbing them. She even robbed a guy out of 25K in crypto and $600 in cash. They arrested her while she was trying to leave the country of Colombia for, guess where, RJ?
Colombia too.
2. She was leaving the
Venezuela.
country. Who wants to go? No, I caught myself. I caught myself.
You to the United States. The United States.
No. She was going to another passport bro haven. You know,
That's
the one we know.
Dominican Republic.
The one we
Dominican
know.
Republic.
Yes, not we know
Dominican.
as in we know.
I
that
don't. Hey, yo,
no. What I
stop
mean
it.
no.
Stop it. Stop it. Yeah, every time I need to just stop. Okay, I need to.
Now, let me get some context. As kids, we used to hear these stories about passport bros from where we are from. Those are our original passport bros.
Yeah,
They were the passport bro before
They've
the
been-
passport bros.
yeah, they've been traveling.
They've been traveling, but yeah, she was going to República Dominicana to scam more passport bros, but they caught her, and she's gonna sit. Any opinion on that?
I mean, if you say Colombian seductress, you can just say Colombian woman because they are seductress by nature. That's
Technically, yeah.
it's yeah. To say no, I have no comment on that. Only that when I saw it, I was like, am I shocked? No.
No. It's crazy. People are out here
Unless if you
sitting.
tell me Haitian pyro man, I won't. It's like
Anyway, I have another story, but maybe we can talk about it on Thursday. So I think we can wrap it up.
all right. Hey guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. If you've reached the end, let us know. Hope you comment it.
Let us know. Wait, what did you say? If you reach the end, let us
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
That's gonna be tough when you reach the end, but okay.
I'm talking about the end of this video. A-hole. So nah, man. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes,
Remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already. We see that 80% of you who are watching are not subscribing. So please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Rate the show by pressing the like button. Share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies. And don't forget to comment and let us know your thoughts and opinions. And if there are things you want us to cover next time, please let us know as well. It's been a pleasure. And until next time. Peace.
Why you didn't do it? Oh man. I want to explain this, but maybe we gotta talk about it on Thursday. You got me. Oh man, that's a bad one. But I got slacking, man. Oh.